This weekend I took part in my very first BSF Manchester, and as a new player it was quite daunting to play such a big event so soon into playing Vanguard. If you don't know me, my name's James. I've been playing Vanguard for about 4 to 5 weeks now. Originally picking up Minerva with the intent of playing post set 9 in the BCS format, playing mainly singles and hoping to top a few of them, see how it goes. But when I went to locals one day, 2 people had their teammate drop out and asked if I wanted to play the BSF Manchester with them. Both these players, Nick and Norman, have played quite a long time. Nick has gone to Worlds, I think 3 or 4 times. Norman has got multiple tops. And together with their third teammate, they have topped pretty much every BSF they've entered, I believe. So it was quite daunting being asked to play with them. As someone who's very new to the game, I didn't really know what to expect, and I wasn't really sure how I'd perform. But I definitely knew I wanted to do it with them. Going into the event, I kind of just thought, you know what, I need to go at least even. Go maybe 7 rounds, maybe 4-3, hoping to pick up rounds that they drop. So if they both win, that's fine. If one of them loses, I just need to be there to be able to win that round for the team, and hopefully we can get a top or at least a good placement. That kind of ended up happening. I ended up going 6-1 individually, and we went 5-2 as a team. We unfortunately bubbled top 8, but that's fine. I was very happy with my performance, and as a team I think we were overall pretty happy with our performance going into the event. But I'll go through the matchups in a bit. I kind of want to go over now why I chose to play Prison. I've been playing a lot of Minerva, as I said, and I think I just knew that deck was not competitive enough before set 9 to kind of compete at a BSF level. I wanted to play something that was a bit more reliable, and as a player that's very new to the game, there's a lot of decks to learn. It's not really like Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, where the format is maybe consisting of 5-ish decks, and anything outside of those 5-ish decks is kind of not irrelevant, but you can kind of figure it out. You can kind of figure a lot of things out in Vanguard, and there are probably a top 5 decks, but the consistency at which you'll run into the decks that aren't in the top 5 is much bigger, and I think the consistency at which you'll lose to these non-top 5 decks is much higher as well if you don't know what they're doing. And so with that in mind, I decided to play Prison. The reason I decided to play Prison is purely because I think Prison is quite an ignorant deck. It doesn't care too much about what your opponent's game plan is. It can very easily just force your opponent to play a game plan that Prison chooses, due to the fact that your opponent is going to have to use their resources to unprison things or release things. And so you can be, because of this, if you're very aggressive with it, you can be very, very ignorant and kill on your grade 4 turn. So that's kind of why I played it, and it worked out really, really well. Just going through my my report here of how we did, you can see winning die rolls is always good. I actually lost the first round to Bav. Thankfully, Nick and Norman picked these rounds up. But this was a weird game. I actually think I could have gone 7-0, but Bav, the Bav player, I kind of misplayed a little bit. I played my own game. I kind of starved him of damage a little bit, and then tried to go all out at the end. I did successfully do that, and then my opponent hit 2 crits, which was a bit frustrating, but you know what, I think I should have guarded a smaller attack earlier in that game. Would have given me just that wiggle room. So that's kind of on me. And then after that, I kind of just locked in and beat everyone. Against Levy, I've played against Levy a lot in my testing, and so I kind of knew what to do going into this deck. I won the die roll again, which helps. I killed on grade 4 turn. Drajuld was a pretty similar matchup. The deck's actually not too bad into Drajuld. I really like it. You're stealing soul when they want to have it in there, and that's quite big. Luard was pretty easy as well. Again, all of these matchups, I'm trying to think about how I played them, but realistically I played them very ignorantly. I don't know what all the Dredged cards do. I don't really know what all the Levy cards do. Don't know what Luard does in general. I had to read up what he was doing, how he was getting his grade 4s out. I played Bav, I played Leonor, and I played Reziel. And I didn't really know what any of these decks did other than Bav, because my teammates, Nick was on Vigilla and Norman was on Bav, so I kind of had played into them, so I knew those two decks if I played against them. But the rest was kind of, I was very naive into. And that's kind of why I picked Prison, is because it allows you to be naive and ignorant and just do what you want to do and kind of think about your opponent later. You don't need to think about that right now. Just rush down, aggressively Prison, play your game plan, hit for 2 damage at big numbers and 5 times. And so, yeah, the game plan worked. I ended up 6-1 at my very first BSF, and I was really happy with that. Unfortunate not to top, but that's how it works, unfortunately. Both the rounds we lost. Nick lost the die roll in one of them in the mirror, just lost that, and then played Letitia, which is apparently quite a hard matchup for him. And Norman played Ava twice, and in both games, his opponent hit 6th damage OT, so can't really ask for much more out of anyone. I think we overall played very well. Going through the deck list quickly, with the Ava starter, I mean, look, you take any edge you can. There's zero reason not to play it at a bigger event. You never know if someone's going to you go second and someone's going to discard something that they otherwise probably could have used in this matchup, thinking it was the Ava matchup. There's no reason not to. But ride line is pretty normal. The main deck is pretty normal as well. Obviously, 3 Pure Light. What instantly drew me to this card is the fact that it's basically just Trish from Yu-Gi-Oh! But ×2. Amazing. The Ace unit is incredible. I can't tell you how many times this Ace unit saved me. There was one moment in locals, actually, not in the tournament. I went Ace unit, I did Shroud, went Shroud for Citrus and Upgrader. I went Citrus, I drew a Royale. I used this, I got another Citrus, and then I went Upgrader for Pure Light. And I just turned a 0 cardboard into like 4 cards, big swings, and I won the game because of that. So I actually don't think I could ever have played this deck without this card. This card is incredible. It's pretty much base 20 as well because of this. Rest in the order and stuff like that. So yeah, it's really good. Played 2 Welt. I'm not sure how I felt about this card, but it prisons 1 or 2 cards, and that's really good. And it's pretty much, well, you have to Energy Blast, but it's pretty much free. It's also 15k sometimes, or most of the time, so that's pretty good. But it's just more good grade 2s to prison cards, and you just need that sometimes to get to either 3 for Pure Light, or maybe even 10 for Pure Light, sorry, or 3 for Seraph Snow. Capture Cherry. This card isn't seeing as much play as I thought it would. This was a card that I decided to play fairly early into testing. It's actually one of the cards that drew me to the deck. A lot of players on grade 2 turn, I found they would just give me a good card off of this. Sometimes a bad player would give me a Trick Moon, an Arms, or one of their Restanders, thinking that it's not that bad. And then all of a sudden I put this down, I steal another card from their prison, and then I bottom deck whatever they gave me. And that can be really, really big. I didn't have many game plans going into the tournament, you know, into various decks, but I did ask as many people as I could what the priority list versus each matchup should be for bottom decking things with this card. I think that really paid off. Especially against Bav, I bottom decked quite a lot of the Restander. I think I bottom decked 2 of the Restander against the second Bav player I played against, and it just won me the game. He just was not seeing that card again. So it's really good. Obviously, the 4 Corner Citrus. This card's pretty self-explanatory. Swings 5 times. It's the best grade 2 turn, and it draws you a card, obviously. Another card that really drew me to the deck was Violet. When I said that this deck could be ignorant, it can be ignorant even more so when it has 6 PGs, essentially. A lot of people were not clearing out the prison because they didn't really know what the prison cards fully did. Caught a lot of people off surprise. And then I would just use this card and I wouldn't die, and they wouldn't have factored in for it. but this card allowed me to be a lot more willing to PG things that I shouldn't normally in other decks, and that kind of fixed some holes in how I viewed guarding being so new to the game. I played 4 PGs. I didn't play any of the event PGs because I am playing a Blitz order, so I decided to just play 4 of this one. Worked out fine. I didn't miss any of the others at all. 4 Lifeall, you've got to play 4 of this card. This card is insane. 4 Upgrader, again, you've got to play 4 of this card. This card is a custom card. If you could print a card for Prison, it would be this card. It reduces cost, it prisons a card, and it searches for grade 3 from drop or from deck. So it can deck thin as well. Like, the only thing this card is missing is that it could possibly give it to you even if your opponent isn't on grade 3, but you'd never want that. So yeah, this card is insane. I decided to cut Muna down to 3. Essentially, I was playing 4 Muna, and I wasn't playing the Ace unit, and then I kind of just wanted to play the Ace unit. I knew I wanted to play it, I just didn't know where. I didn't feel like cutting down Violet or Cherry, which some people might want to, just because I felt like those cards gave me quite good edge over other players. You know, they would always be expecting this one. They would always be expecting this one. Same with these 2, but they might not always be expecting these. So I really wanted to keep those in. I felt those gained me a lot of advantage. People not know how to play around them. So I ended up cutting a Muna. I think in testing, I was playing 4 Muna, and I would play the card, and people would always be able to play around the Muna. Now, it's nice to force people to have to do that or give you a draw, but it didn't feel relevant enough to the point of where I needed 4 of this card in my deck. And to be honest, I never missed the 4th. I 100% am so happy I hit this or played this, because you can play it off Lifeall as well, and that's huge. It's just huge. You're basically playing more copies of your Ace unit than most people are, just because you can consistently check top 5 and sometimes just hit it. And then just the fronts, obviously the OT, insane, and then 8 crits and 4 heals. Shroud was incredible. This card is broken. I never played it with Counterblast, but the fact that you can get 2 grade 2s back is so big. To be fair, a lot of the time I used it to bring back Security Upgrader. Sometimes I would have Shroud in hand, I'd be able to set up a board, I'd use Security Upgrader, and I'd be able to bring it back the next turn to guarantee a Pure Light. Other times I would have to put Upgrader down early if I went second, so that I had something to rest with Prison, but I knew I would have Shroud in deck, and so it's an extra copy of it. Shroud was so good. It is such a good card. I cannot believe they printed this card. It reads insane, honestly. And then the last kind of card outside of the Prison I played is Melting Heart. This is another card that I didn't think people would really look into. They weren't clearing my Prison, and then all of a sudden I was guarding with this card for ridiculous numbers. I think I got it up to 60 at one point. It was crazy. So yeah, I loved this card, and I would 100% play this exact list at another event. I don't think there was anything I missed. I don't think there was anything I could have used. I mean, yeah, I don't think there was anything I would have preferred to play. And I read every single Prison card going into this event to make sure that there was none that I really missed out on. No, I think this was the perfect Prison list. So that kind of rounds out how my first BSF went, how I went into the event, my mindset going into the event, how I viewed the event. It was an amazing event. Shout out to Nick and Norman for letting me join them. I'm really glad that I was able to experience that event before going to my first BCS. Yeah, overall, great people, amazing opponents, nice people everywhere, and the event ran super smoothly. Next for me will be BSF Austria. I've already booked that, and I will be probably playing Minerva for that. So I'd like to continue making videos based on my journey through Vanguard as a new player, to kind of give perspective of myself as a new player. I don't think there's too many new players to Vanguard, which is kind of upsetting, but I think it's nice to see a fresh take from Vanguard, and so I wanted to just make these videos to see how that goes. But yeah, Thanks for watching, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. Please comment on video ideas you'd like to see. I want to try and record some of my testing with some people around me at my locals to try and get some high quality gameplay videos up as well. And I'm also going to just try and look into doing some commentary and stuff like that as well. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.